Today is a pretty significant episode in Park to Prem. It's a landmark that only comes around once a series. Today, it's our first games in the Champions League. I say games, we're doing one Champions League game today. That one game is going to be against Inter Milan, a team who have won Serie A 3 times in the last 4 years. Hierro is their manager, Gravenberch, their key player. Yeah, he's quite good, and it is going to be a little bit of a test for us. The rest of our group is Sociedad and Salzburg. I feel like this is a group that puts us in a good position to make it out in the top 2 and to make it to the knockouts. Of course, the board wants us to win the whole thing. That work starts today. Yes, folks, how is it going? And welcome back to Park to Prem. This is episode number 32, I want to say. I should always check the number before I sit down and record. I haven't done that. If I'm wrong, let me know a million times in the comments. Today, as you've already heard, we are going to be taking on Inter Milan in the Champions League. As well as that, we are going to do a game in the Premier League. Quite what that game's going to be, I've not decided yet. We might do the game against Blackburn. We might do the game that follows that, which, if I'm not mistaken, you can see here is against Leicester. I feel like actually the Blackburn game is a good one to pick because we'll play a rotated team for that game. I'm planning everything live. As you can see, really got my stuff in order today. And I do feel like this season is going to be a real squad game. We are going to need to rotate things around, give minutes to plenty of first team players. And with only a handful of games played to start the season, you can already see that starting to come into my thinking. Plenty of rotation has happened and lots of green in the average ratings, which implies we've been on a good run of form after yesterday. We don't talk about yesterday. Let's not even think about yesterday. So 3 matches played in the league since you were last here, and this first one was almost disastrous. West Brom, a team we should have been beating comfortably, led at half-time, and at half-time, we hadn't had a shot. Now, you might be sitting thinking, wow, Jack, that was a very different second half. You must have changed everything tactically. No, I didn't. I took off Severin. I subbed in Carlier. As you can see here, he got an 8.0. He ended up being man of the match, only playing the second half. He inspired a comeback that saw Zambergen and De Silva score, and we scraped by a 2-1 win, which I'll tell you what, after the defeat against Fulham, this one was a relief. So after a game that should have been simple against West Brom, we went into this game against Arsenal. Of course, they finished 4th in the league, and in this game, we beat the team we finished 4th last year. 1-0. Good little results. De Silva with a late-ish goal in this game. It came in the 78th minute. Horniak did get injured, but not too serious, thankfully. Over on the Arsenal side of things, Fontana limited to a 6.7 rating. You can see here, he has not been very good for Arsenal over the years, which I feel like kind of shows you just how dirtily done defensive midfielders tend to be this year in the match engine. Yeah, I guess it's obvious at this point. I've not signed Fontana. I haven't been able to afford Fontana. I saw lots of comments yesterday saying, Jack, why didn't you just throw all the money at him? I literally bid 250 million and they said no. He just wasn't available to sign. And you know what? With a performance like the one he showed against us, maybe I've dodged a bullet. Maybe I've saved a load of money, especially because Talha got his first assist in Crystal Palace colours. The new roaming playmaker, the new Fontana is what they're calling him. Yeah, good performance by him. Most recently, we took on Southampton away. This game, fairly straightforward. 2 goals in the first half. A short one shortly into the second half followed to make it 3-0. It was Carlier with the goal. This man is the main man at this point. 1 goal and 3 assists in 3 league games to start the season. We are going to hope that he is able to step up and deliver in the Champions League. Now, there was still room for some transfer business to be done between last episode and this one. Right on deadline day, Angelo Jr., he left the building. He went to Liverpool for £60 million. I think that this is a ridiculous sum of money. 30 million of it up front, 30 million over the next few years. At 28 years old, he's not a bad player, but he's not getting any younger, and he hadn't ever really shone for us, so we made some really good money off him. And as one Portuguese player departed, I signed one for the future. Miguel Jorge here has more caps than Angelo Jr., therefore he must be better. This guy signed from Benfica for his release clause of £36.5 million. Expect to see him featured in this episode, probably in the second game against Blackburn. A good rotation option for us, can play as a centre mid on attack, as you can see here. Very, very versatile, very, very well-rounded. And I do feel like even at 36 million, he's pretty good value for money. Really, really useful player. Yeah, he will feature this season. So only a few games played since we last here. That transfer business, although it seems insignificant, actually rather large sums of money exchanged. Unfortunately for us, Miguel Jorge is only on the bench today. I say unfortunately for us, it's fortunate. If he was on the starting 11, we'd have an injury because, as you can see here, we're pretty much at full strength. This is a team that bottled it first game of the season against Fulham, but since then, we've started to find our groove a little bit. You know, we've got some new personnel coming into the team. The system itself is still being figured out. I don't want to panic too much just yet. Today's going to be a good test, though. Inter Milan are very, very good. Media prediction for them in Serie A is first place. They have been a constant success at the top of Italian football for a few years. And yeah, it doesn't really get much more difficult than this. So let's see how we do get on. We are at full strength, as I've said. No serious first-team injuries, although McIntosh is currently out. I think he is the only player unavailable today. He'd probably only even be on the bench at a push. Of course, with the new players we've brought in the defence, the status quo has altered slightly. McIntosh has fallen down the pecking order somewhat. And well, I'm hoping the players that I am putting absolute faith in are going to do better today than they did last time. We've bounced back well, 3 wins in a row. Let's see if we can make it 4 today. Throwing on the near side, Inter Milan looking for a quick start perhaps. Velez back to Vanderson. Now with Ricolde. Vanderson with the ball. You can see here our players getting in behind. On this occasion, you can see De Silva here as the left-sided shadow striker in our new system. Does like to pressure the fullback still. As much as it looks lopsided, as much as it looks like Serie is sometimes exposed out on the left-hand side. Trust me, it works. Serie, £100 million, and I thought he was about to sell that header short back to Ruiz. We're good. Did anyone else just expect that to go wrong? Maybe it's just me. I don't trust back passes in Football Manager. Anyway, Ruiz is going to lump it forward. It's headed away, but only as far as Horniak. Now De Silva with it. Carlier plays it through to Gurushaga, one-on-one. And, well, he's kicked it straight at the goalkeeper. Ezema, for them, makes a big, big stop inside the first 5 minutes. Great to see us create a significant opportunity. A bit unfortunate that we couldn't score it. Zambergen in this area, deep in our own half with the ball, but we don't mind that. We can spring and attack quickly, and Horniak is going to look to do that. Create space through the middle. De Silva, Gurushaga, I don't even know. I was going to say 1-2 there, but it all happened so quickly. The ball is in the back of the net. For our radio listeners out there, that was mental. It was a 1-2 really quickly played between De Silva and Gurushaga, and Gurushaga I think only has 12 or 13 finishing. I was getting worried after he missed the first chance. He's just scored an absolute belter in off the post. I don't even know how to describe that in words. That was mental. We have the lead. Okay, apparently Zambergen's pulled his hamstring. I know we're ahead. I know this is a big game, but I don't really want to risk him if I can avoid it. So you know what? Miguel Jorge, you're not really a winger, but I want to give you a live com debut. That is playing into my thinking here. The 20-year-old, the new kid on the block. Actually, no, I'm not doing it. Not yet. I'm going to move Gurushaga out wide and bring in Middleby. That's the more sensible change. I'm going to be sensible. Gurushaga is a winger. He can play as a winger. Middleby can play as a striker. Let's not play Miguel out of kind of position. Jack, you need to take this game seriously. I've got to say, half an hour into this game, what a fantastic start. We have shut down Inter Milan's 4-2-3-1. We've created a lot, despite not having as much of the ball. And, well, I was about to say, we could go in at the break a goal to the good. I'd like it to be a second goal to the good, but Inter Milan might have something to say about that. Playing the ball forward here, but we do win the header. Marcus Tullio with it. Sanchez to Carlier. Plays through Middleby. Fresh off the bench. And the Aussie tucks it into the bottom corner to make it 2-0. What a lovely move. We've kind of carved them open on a few occasions through the middle. You've seen it again there. Oh, my word. I mean, I'm having trouble getting my words out. The performance has been that good so far. But, well, I'm having trouble. The players are not. Middleby, lovely finish. Bottom corner. 2-0 right before the break. Yeah, couldn't I wish for a better half than this? We've been very, very good. It could even get better. Could it get better? De Silva whips in. Tullio heads just over the crossbar. Okay, at the break here, we are on top massively. Inter with just the one shot on target. As we learnt last episode, we can't afford to, well, spare our chances. We need to take our opportunities whilst we're ahead. We've done that in the first half, hoping it can continue into the second. And, well, it is going to continue into the second, I hope, as we have another highlight here. Serie bringing the ball forward. Down the line he goes. The wing-back to De Silva, to Horniak. Now with Talha. I realise with Gurushaga, De Silva, and also Serie in the team, we've got 3. I can't count. 3 former Liverpool players in our ranks. And while speaking of the devil, there's one there. Gurushaga can't beat the first man, but he does win back the ball well. Middleby back to goal to Gurushaga. I mean, a questionable finish, but after his finish earlier in the game, I can't really blame him for aiming for the top corner once more. Inter Milan now on this far side with it. Vanderson, Recalde. They're going to need a response, you imagine, early into this second half. We've been on top in this game, and while we get the ball off them once more, De Silva bringing it forward. Horniak tries to pick out Carlier, but cannot from there. It was a difficult pass. Inter now forced to go long, but Vassallo wins it, and we look to launch another attack. Carlier moving into the wide area, and while moving into Bastoni as well. He stands up well to the challenge. This has been a very, very long highlight. I feel like the longer our highlight goes on in Football Manager, the more the anticipation levels rise. Sanchez through the middle. I'm not sure why the right back shot from there, but I guess it's unfamiliar territory. He panicked a little bit. He's hit it over. But it is just another chance, and there could be another chance here. This has just been absolutely relentless from us in this game. Talha running the show as the Roman playmaker. Is getting involved in the early build-up. Now with Horniak. Plays it through to Sanchez at inverted wing-back. I questioned his finish. I shouldn't have questioned his finish after the last one. He's finished this one. It's 3-0. We're only 52 minutes into this game. We are dismantling Inter Milan. And we're playing some really, really nice football. The passing around here is superb. The inverted wing-back just arrives from absolutely nowhere. And with it, Sanchez finds the bottom corner. It's 3-0. And there is a kickoff highlight. We want 4. We want 4. The referee's trying to help out Inter there. Looked like he wanted to get on the end of the pass. At this point, Inter look like they need help. Is there any help coming? It doesn't feel like it, and it could get worse before it gets better, because Gurajaga has played in Middleby. One-on-one, wide angle. Bastoni just nips in there. The ball's cleared away, but we're going to come back straight away. Talha, Horniak, Carlier, De Silva on the overlap. We are just shredding them in the middle. We are destroying them in the middle. The movement of De Silva, of Carlier, of Horniak, it can't be contained. Ball was played forward. Talha, as the Roman playmaker, picks up the pieces. Horniak to Carlier, to De Silva, and the finish at the end of it, not too shabby either. I mean, if this is a taster of what this team could be capable of once we really, hit the ground running, once we really get into our stride with this new system, how can you not be excited? There's another highlight here. There is another highlight here. Horniak, where are you going, son? He's going through the middle. Carlier, Sanchez, Gurajaga, Middleby. Maybe he should have scored there. He hits it over. This is one of those weird games where I feel like I should make changes, but I almost feel guilty making any changes. You know what? Talha Sabuk hasn't had the craziest of games. Let's bring in Payrat in the middle. And you know what? I almost took off, previously Zambergen to put Jorge on the wing. I'm putting Jorge on the wing now. We're going to see how the youngster does. Signed for 36 million. I'm hoping he's going to just be a bit of a Renato Sanchez for us at the fear of pigeonholing him. I want him to be that centre mid from Portugal who can kind of just do all the roles. Has good work rate, has good technical ability. We can stick him wherever and he'll do the business. And while today we need him to do the business out on the right wing. He might even get a chance early on here. Ball play forward to Middleby, who's got a knock. One-on-one, goes round the keeper, scores it. Oh my word, Jacob. Is he playing himself into first team contention? I might have to consider it after this. We are 5-0 up against the reigning Serie A champions. And it hasn't ever looked in doubt. We've created so many opportunities. This one, slightly less pretty than some of the other goals. Lumped forward to Middleby. He gets on the end of it. It's 5-0. I've made all my subs. You know what? Let's get out a deck chair. Let's get out a martini and party. Oh my word. Jorge nearly scored at the back post. He probably should have scored to make it 6. I feel like at this point, Inter Milan just want to go home. And I can't really blame them. They've just been bullied in this game. We're going forward again. Every time we get the ball, you expect something to happen. Horniak through the middle. Can he pick out an option in the middle? He plays it to Jorge, who hits it. It falls to Middleby, who I believe has just secured his hat-trick off the bench, ladies and gentlemen. Described by the commentator as an assassin in front of goal. It's 6-0. It's 6. Did anyone have this on their prediction? When you had to guess the score, did you guess this? Probably not. I didn't, certainly. Wow. What a performance by Jacob Middleby. Have to hope that injury that he's got isn't too serious. He has got a hat-trick. Sanchez and Gurajaga with the others. And that is the game right there. I mean, what do you say? Absolute masterclass. De Silva was superb. Carlier was superb. Horniak looked lethal. And Jacob Middleby has got a hat-trick. Hasn't even got man of the match. Unfortunately, Middleby now out for 2 to 3 weeks, but it was worth keeping him on the pitch with an injury to score a hat-trick. No one can convince me otherwise. I think we can all agree that was a rather unexpected result in the Champions League group stage. We have now got Blackburn in a few days' time. That is the game we're going to come back for. Just to look at things here, I have my best 11, but then I have my best 11 2. And this is kind of a rotated team that we can switch to for this kind of game against Blackburn. Of course, we've got a couple of injuries to contend with, but I do feel like it really gives you an idea of the strength and depth that we have, that we can rotate things so significantly. I realise there's an Angelo Jr. shaped hole in the team, but Miguel Jorge goes there. Right, problem solved. Not sure if this is the exact team we're going to go with. We might put a few of the first team players in, but feeling confident after the last one. Let's see if our backups can get it done in game number 2. So we have got a second game today. We are one of the later kickoffs. Few interesting results. Aston Villa beating Arsenal in third is pretty huge. Manchester United at the top of the table. The reigning champions beat West Brom. And Burnley... well, Burnley are currently in second, and they've got a game in hand on people above them. If we win here, we would go top, so that's worth noting down. But the league table is looking a little weird at a very, very early stage in the season. I'm sure it will settle out. I'm really expecting it to be Arsenal and Manchester United, the two teams really pushing us again this year. So in terms of team selection, we're going to have to rotate things around. This is going to be necessary this year, I think, to compete on so many fronts. But the good news is we've got strength and we've got it in depth. So in terms of team news, Ruiz is going to stay in goal. Players who have held down their spots from the last game include Marcus Tulio, De Silva, and Carlier. I really feel like those 4 players are just a step above everyone else. They are players who have so much quality that I think we can bring them in. If we start winning comfortably, come the second half, I will take them off and just rest them. Elsewhere in the team, though, younger players taking a stand. One player who, in my head, I still kind of view as a younger player, when really now he's 22, he needs to be coming into his own, is Severin. Of course, the Polish forward has been in and out of the first team. I felt like a couple of years ago, he was overdue a big breakout year, and last season, that wasn't really what we got out of him. But if we just look at his development, you can see here, over an extended period of time, he has slowly but surely got better. With Middleby out injured now, he is going to be a player who plays a little bit more, so he's got a chance. Out on the right-hand side, we are going with Heinz Winter as a winger. Now, it's not really his preferred role, but his right-only footedness and his pace and his ability dribbling with the ball and off the ball, I think makes him a pretty good fit for this role. I think longer term, he could end up being one of our big kind of striking options, but in this game, in this situation, out on the right is where he's going to play for us. Miguel Jorge gets his first start for the club, of course, came on off the bench against Inter, very nearly got a goal. Curious to see how he gets on playing ahead of David Lind, who of course joined us last January, had a couple of issues of injuries, which was a bit of a concern, but he's back in the team today. He has continually improved, and I do need to give him first team minutes to really see how he develops. You can see so far this year, he has already made 3 appearances in the league, 2 starts, 1 appearance on off the bench. There are young players like Lind that I do need to give game time to throughout the season to see them develop. And at the back, alongside Tulio and Ruiz, we've got the likes of Peyrat. 40 out on the left-hand side, of course, has lost his first team spot this year, with Serie coming into the team. If we just compare the two of them here, you can see how much we've upgraded on 40 this season. I did look at the possibility of moving him on in the summer, but there wasn't enough interest. And actually, we're currently training him to play as a deep-lying defensive midfielder because I think when we look at this, it's undeniable. He could be a very useful backup roaming playmaker for us. Now, whilst Blackburn aren't one of those big, sexy teams that you look at the start of a Premier League season and think we're going to be battling with them at the top, they've won a Premier League. We need to show them some respect, and I do feel like this is a chance to try and put the last result to bed. Against Fulham, we should have done better than we did. We didn't create enough, but since then, we've looked more confident, and this is the kind of game we need to win. They're playing a 4-2-3-1. You might remember we lost against them at the end of the season last year, or was it a draw? We dropped points against them last year. I think we actually lost. I can't remember. Either way, we need to beat them today. I'd love to beat them 6-0, although with our current Crystal Palace team, it seems to be we can beat Inter Milan 6-0. We lose against Fulham 1-0. I don't know. Football's weird. We need to find some consistency against these lesser teams. Today's a chance to do that. It's De Silva, oh my word. An adventurous free kick from range just over the bar kicks off this game for us. Halfway through the first half, set piece here, whipped towards the back post. Keeper spills it, and Carlier is there for goal number 2 of the season. He got a pretty big headed goal at the end of last year. He's definitely not a player known for his heading ability, but he just seems to be in the right place at the right time, and well, on this occasion, The keeper has dropped that, hasn't he? He has dropped the bag, and, well, we've capitalised. That is very, very fortunate, and we might get another set-piece chance here. It's whipped in. Tullio parried away by the keeper again. How has that not gone in at the back post? I'm not sure. It's not in. I mean, Travers for them is not having a very convincing game in goal for Blackburn. They've been on the ropes, but maybe now a chance for Blackburn to alleviate a little bit of pressure. That's what I was expecting to happen, but they have actually just gifted the ball back to us, and it's now with Heinz Winter, back to Fofana, attempts to play in Severin, but it's red. De Silva picks up the pieces, back with Winter, cutting inside, gives it to Fofana, who's bringing it forward, gives it to Carlier. 2 goals for Carlier in this first half. It's confident, and it's sexy, and that is kind of our brand of football. You didn't see that against Fulham, I don't think, but we really, really are, I feel like, starting to click, and it's just fun to watch the movement of our attacking players. Fofana there, you can see, is the inverted wing-back, getting very high up the pitch in the middle, really provide some supportive runs and can overlap on the right-hand side. Did that there for us, looked very, very good. And, well, we look very, very good right now, having more of the ball in this game than we did against Inter. And I think the C of green average ratings across the more attacking players kind of gives you an idea of how this game is going. We are running rampant in the final third. Blackburn unable to contain us and just repeatedly, it would seem from highlights, gifting us possession by lumping the ball away from danger, only for us to then bring it forward. And we'll bring it forward again. We're going to try here. Carlier's on for the hat-trick. De Silva's one-on-one. Keeper on this occasion actually makes a very, very good stop. Gets his foot to it, tips it wide. There might still be a corner to deal with here, and it's going to be De Silva on his left foot looking to whip it in. Picks, well, almost the head of Tullio out. Unfortunately, headed away from danger. And I imagine that's going to be that for this highlight. Unless, could there be? No, there's not. There's not. Out the break here, 2 goals to the good. Really convincing performance. Great to see a rotated team performing so well. And whilst it might feel a little bit premature, I am going to take off De Silva here and just bring in Toby Newton, I think. We're going to move Jorge, I think, into centre attacking mid and then playing Newton as the centre mid on attack. I feel like Toby Newton is one of those squad players whose name you never really hear me say. He just kind of exists. He's the backup athletic centre mid who can kind of play a whole host of roles. We're going to bring him in. Elsewhere, Tullio is looking a little bit worse for wear. So you know what? We'll bring in, I believe it said Chabuk. Please let me know. Talha Chabuk is going to come in and play centre-back, which he can play. Most of the time he's playing roaming playmaker for us, but I feel like minutes are important to give him, and I can give him minutes if I play him in the centre-back role. I guess it's also a chance for us to see how he does at centre-back, the Turkish player, with the green headband. I don't know if you can even see it on the video. He's got a green headband. Of course, in Football Manager, you can't really spot the details. It gives him his powers. Carlier hat-trick. She should have been there. It wasn't there, though. He's kicked it, and the keeper's made another big stop. Having made that calamitous error to make it 1-0, their keeper, right now Blackburn, is bailing them out. We're knocking on the door of a third. Jorge here to Newton. Back post, heads it straight at the keeper. Had the whole goal at his mercy. That's why he's the squad player whose name you never hear me say. We have now got another set piece. Jorge floating it in. Talha, oh my word. Chabuk on the volley. Welcome to the team. Gets his first goal as a senior player. Great to see Jorge getting the assist. 2 of the big young signings we made this summer, linking up from the set piece. It's not a conventional corner goal, is it? Scoring on the volley like that, but we will take it. Well, against Inter, it was 3-0 and then 4-0 very, very quickly with back-to-back highlights. Here, we've got another kick-off highlight right away. Blackburn have just not looked at the races here. They are down in 19th. They are struggling, but with our rotated team, I was scared, you know, maybe we would bottle it. We've got a bit of a reputation for it at this point. This is the kind of performance I want to see against the lesser teams. One where we do just demolish them. It is just a nice, relaxing display. I say all of that. They could get a goal back here and then maybe have to panic. Pope is through. Puts it wide of the post. But Blackburn, first time in this game, cutting us open. Maybe we have to remain a little bit vigilant. And you know what? I'm going to get shouty with the demand more. Corner being whipped in. And I don't know what happened there. Was that a free header in the middle? Ruiz has got it in his hands. I don't think he knows how it's ended up there. Now can we look to build something? Severin misses his header, but it falls to Carlier, who, well, after a bit of ricocheting around, has the ball, but not before he desperately tries to get his hat-trick goal and hits it straight at the defender. Winter whips it in, though. Severin hits the woodwork with his header. and then cleared away from danger by Blackburn. We have been massively on top in this game, creating chance after chance after chance. Maybe not showing that same cutting edge we showed in that previous match against Inter. If only we had Middleby in our ranks, maybe he'd be the man to finish all these opportunities we're creating. Ball played into the middle, given away, and now we look to surge forward with the ball. Carlier caught out though. Chebuk forces them to go wide with the ball. Looking competent so far at centre-back, although Borrell here, through on goal, Ruiz, big stop. We like that. Like it when Ruiz makes saves. He's not had many to do here. That's not an insignificant one. And now just the small matter of a corner to deal with. I feel like I should be more relaxed at 3-0. I should be enjoying this a little bit more. But with our team's reputation, I have trust issues. That's all I'm going to say. I have trust issues. Right, let's change things up a little bit here. Who do I want to bring on? You know what? I'm going to bring in Horniak, I think, for Jorge, just in the centre. Horniak got that little injury just before the last international break. He did play, of course, the previous game. I feel like he's not been a super standout performer for us just yet, the new addition to the team. Although plenty of time for him to get up to speed. Just maybe today's not the day for it. As well, there might still be one highlight here. Horniak could still get a goal. He's in possession. He's been fouled. It's going to go to VAR, potentially the penalty. And maybe Carlier can get his hat-trick after all, folks. Maybe it's not over just yet. Could we get a fourth? Penalty awarded. Carlier, I hope, is going to be over it. He is. He takes it quickly. He finds the bottom corner. He makes it 4. And we can relax. I'll tell you what, after last episode, to win 2 games with an aggregate scoreline of 10-0 today feels pretty good. Especially that game against Inter. I feel like we have a really good squad now. The fact that we can take on a team like Blackburn with a largely rotated team and win 4-0, I think is only a good sign for the future, especially because so many of the backup players who played in this game, you know, they are on the younger side of things. In fact, the oldest players in the team, a couple of 28-year-olds, but you look at the likes of Jorge, Winter, Severin, Fofana, Tullio, David Lind. The future is in safe hands, I think. And well, I don't want to get too carried away just yet because we're only 5 games into the season, but we are top of the league. Just saying. Could it happen? I mean, Burnley will be hoping it could happen. If they win their game in hand, Burnley go top. So maybe I shouldn't get too carried away. Burnley media prediction 13th. They've not had like a tycoon takeover or anything. They've just been working away hard. They won the FA Cup last year. Fair play to them. Pirlo in charge is just working magic. Major is their key man. I mean, imagine if Burnley now joined the fray as one of these teams towards the top of the table who are very, very good. The Premier League is already competitive enough. I don't need Burnley pushing us even harder. You know what? I can't get over how good we've been today. After last episode, you know, there was maybe some question marks over the system. I think we've shown here it can work, and we've got a squad to make it work. We're in a great little position. That 6-0 win sets us up nicely for the upcoming Champions League games. In terms of when we're going to be back next time, I'm looking a little further ahead to November time. We've got Liverpool and Salzburg back-to-back with Manchester City afterwards. Dare I utter the words triple header? Triple header for the Friday? Does that sound good? Maybe? Let me know. I think that's what we're going to come back for next time. It should be a good time. We are going to have to rotate things there. The fixture congestion, as you can see, it's pretty rammed right now. If you have enjoyed today's video, as always, do drop a like on it. Let me know what you make of the signing of Miguel Jorge and the departure of Angelo Jr. What did you think of the performances today? I'm very happy. Maybe I'm getting a tad carried away. I'll see you guys tomorrow for more. Take care, and until next time, it is me, Jack, and I'll see you on the next one. I'm out.